Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the I don't even know. Anyway, this is Geeky Gamer Podcast. When I hit the record button, that's when OBS likes to crash. We do this every Monday Monday with our hosts Ken and Bill. I'm Ken, and you can't see Bill, but you could probably hear him if he starts talking. The score of this podcast is by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt, as well as Couchfire brings the production, and glitchy production at that, apparently, as and Trois Replay Productions 2018-2023 does everything else, and we're not quite sure
not really sure actually why they're still on there.
But this week we have a very special, awesome guest, a podcaster, an author, voiceover artist, entrepreneur. They do all the things. We're going to go deep into the world and reality of Siquoyia Blue and find out some cool shit. So I just ruined the YouTube algorithm by cussing, but you know, what do we do?
Fuck them.
that's what I say. Siquoyia, welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Siquoyia, can I ask you a tech question really quick?
Sure.
Are you watching the stream?
No, let me watch it. It says watch stream right here. So let me click that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's live. Yeah. I mean, I think it's live. I'm going to like
just
it.
Making sure she can sit too.
Yeah,
awesome.
We're live.
Excellent.
Even though I think we should broadcast in like cell phone mode, because I don't know about you guys, but like those podcasts get some views in the little swipey uppy downy thing. That's technical. That's some terminology right there.
The swipey uppy downy thing. It's UX UI. Siquoyia, who are you?
Oh my goodness, that's interesting questions. So basically, I'm someone that's curious. I'm just very curious. I like to try different things. I'm pretty much a values person, and I buy my values most of the time. And I'm also I don't know. Let me see. I'm very left and right brain. So I like the tech side of things. I like the creative side of things. So you can't really make me focus on one. Like a lot of people be like, "Oh, focus on one thing," but I just can't. So
yeah, she's
right. I think it helps.
I mean, from her profile, she's an author, and she's created some games, and she's a podcaster, and all those things. I mean, that's a real thing. I think we should talk about gaming, because this is the Geeky Gamer Podcast.
Apparently,
what is your favorite?
Talk about games.
What is your favorite type of game? Are you a video game person? Role playing game?
Well, I'm like I like games that are fighting. So I like fighting games. So all I want to do is fight. So I'll play what's the Mortal Kombat. I haven't played in a long time, because now it's like I don't know what it is, but when I got older, I stopped playing the video games. Now it's just a lot of I guess little phone games like Fruit Ninja and like card games and stuff like that is what I'm into now. But I will be getting a PlayStation again and get back into my fighting, because I was really good at fighting. I could beat everybody. So I want to get back into that.
Now, were you more console, or did you go to the arcade? Or, not to date myself or anything, but
console. And I did go to the arcade too.
You were playing Mortal Kombat. So I kind of stopped playing video games many moons ago, but I know there's like 1,000 Mortal Kombats. Is there one that you like the most or the least?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember which one. I know I like them all as long as I can fight. But I like all the editions. So I don't even have a favorite. We'll play them all. So one that I could just pick a character, and I was usually the winner. So, because I would just push all the buttons. Like a lot of people sit there and think about it, when it comes to fighting, and I just push the buttons and come up with and I just keep going after that. Like that's how it was. I wasn't really. I just pushed the buttons.
Yeah,
You were a button pusher.
Did you do the kill modes? Like I know, like once you defeat somebody, you could click like a series of
the fatalities, man.
Fatalities,
come
on.
Yeah, I did do that. I did the come here. The guy was like, come here. So that was my favorite one. I would just tell people, come here, and then I would do.
Yeah,
that was him. Yeah. Scorpion.
Shoot out
so he was my favorite. And then Luke, I liked him, so that was my favorite.
Oh, you like Ryu?
Yeah, that was
whatever.
That was a different Street Fighter, I think is.
Oh, look, I'm getting it mixed up. I like Street Fighter too. So yeah, and Mario Kart. So those are my favorites. But yeah, those are my favorite. And even now, if I play games, it's got to be fighting video for console and stuff. Like I got to fight. I don't really like the shooting games and all that.
You like the competitive games,
but I mean,
like the win.
I don't know much about anything, but it seems like you're into role-playing games a little bit. You've created a card game that like demands role-playing in some fashion.
Yeah, tell us about it because I don't know about it.
Yeah, Dating Assassins card game is it's for people that's out there dating. It's for people that are trying to get to know each other. I mean, couples, if you want to play it, cool, but you might already know these questions. These are questions that take on like a first date, or after you've been dating for like maybe a few days. It's 150 questions. You ask the questions and, you can go back and forth or you can ask one at a time. It depends on what you want to do, but you shuffle it and go take turns. And basically, if you take too long to answer a question, you have, then the other person can yell, you have been assassinated, game over. And the game is not over. It's just that you need to figure out why the person couldn't answer the question. It just gives you a chance to talk and be like, well, what's going on with you? And maybe open up about what's going on, and why it took so long. And then you just keep playing the game if you want, and that's how it works. It's really a conversation game. You get to know each other. But some of the questions can make people nervous, and I don't know why, because to me, it's like, if you want to get to know somebody, what's the problem? And one of the misconceptions is that you have to answer or ask all the questions. You do not have to answer or ask the questions. If you don't feel comfortable asking the question, and if you don't feel comfortable answering, just say pass. I had to update my game rules because I didn't know so many people didn't. I'm kind of a quiet alpha, so I'm going to do what I want to do anyway if I want to. But some people they don't know how to think for this. I don't know. They don't know how to figure out their own way. So I had to add the instructions in there. So I just updated the rule like maybe a few weeks ago. So that can be explained. So it's at the end of the day, it's just for you to just break the ice. That's it,
Right.
So it's not a fighting game.
No. Well, it could be. It can lead to fighting, right?
It could be a fighting game. Can you win? Can you win the game?
Yeah, nope, there's no winner. It's not about who's winning. It's really just about conversation and chilling and getting to know each other.
I think you can win the game. If you get laid, I think that's called winning.
Well, yeah, that's it.
It depends on
if you get the date, if you get the girl or boy, then you're good. Then you won the game.
Or a second date, or a third date, or married, children.
Are there stakes in the game? As in, like, I mean, you can say you've been assassinated, and then you kind of drill down. Actually, here's a better question. What I'm gonna eventually ask is for you to like give us sort of a breakdown of how the game is actually played, like moment to moment. Yeah. But first, is there a hard mode and like an easy mode? Like harder questions and easier questions or something?
There are some easier questions and then some harder questions, and it depends on what is hard to you. Like I've had someone that's just very extroverted and don't care, like, I'm just gonna ask this because I just don't, but then you got the more, what you want to call it, modest people that's like shy and like maybe trying to hide something. So then it's like they're gonna be like, oh no, why'd you do that? The dates I've been on, the guys have been blunt, like the men have just answered the question. I haven't really, I've had someone hesitate once, but
wow,
I haven't really had anybody not want to answer. So for me,
Yeah, no, that's cool. I could see it like being color coded or something like, it's a red question. What kinds of questions are we talking about? Like, are we going
Oh
like,
my god.
are they lewd? Are they like, so,
Come on.
do you like butt stuff? Or are they like, hey, do you like long walks on the beach?
Oh my God. It can go from long walks on the beach to, oh, do you have you ever had a threesome? You know, have you ever been to jail?
Yeah. Have you ever had a threesome in
and
jail?
have you been to jail?
Oh, that should have been a question, but I might scare somebody enough. But yeah, stuff like that. Like, have you ever had a threesome? Have you ever been to jail? What's your favorite food? So it can be light as what's your favorite food, or what's your sign? Some stuff is very light, but it can go 0 to 100 real quick, and that's what scares people. To me, I think that if you are serious, and I believe you become the people you hang around with. So I'm like, morals and values have to match, like somewhat.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to help people avoid getting burned.
It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I can see it like immediately generating, in my mind at least, all these different possibilities. Like I'm assuming you can adapt it to whatever house rules you wanted.
Yeah, I was thinking like if someone is, I don't know, like me, that's out of the box thinker, I can do what I want to do. One guy left a review recently. He said that he made the girl take a shot if she wouldn't answer fast.
Right, that kind of stuff. So those are what I mean by stakes, right?
Yeah.
So that idea of like, you could even have a game board and it's like the stakes, you write it down. It could be secret, but like in the end, it could be like, we're fucking, or it could be, oh, we're going on another date with me or whatever, back and forth.
Yeah, it could be. You can do that, but it's like it's just weird how people take it to, they don't really think outside the box with it, but it could turn into something crazy. And even with the guy,
it's your product number 2, baby. That's what you add on.
I know I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do I got the other one coming out first. I said, well, I got to put the Match Assassins coming out soon, because Match Assassins is like a matching game, and that one's so different. It's still conversation oriented, but it's different. You play that with anybody, but some people said they played this game with their family members. So, I think it just depends, because some people said they played it with their family. I actually played it with some of my family members. So, there's just some questions in here that anybody can answer or just don't mind answering. So, but it is for daters. I just want to make that clear, because some people are like, when you said I could do family with this, and I can't, It's for daters, guys.
So is it possible for you to ask us some of the questions that are in the game, or could we run a scenario maybe where
I think we have to where
Bill and I are on a first date and I feel like we already know too much about each other, but
wish you could
you can be on a date with me. You can be on a date with me, and I'm asking you the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. A date with you. A date with you.
Do it. You too. I'll tell you how well you did.
We should switch back and forth and do like the dating
Not that kind of game.
No,
Not
the dating
game.
The dating game. So she can pick like who she likes better, because everything with us.
You want to gamify
it. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna totally win it.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, this one's kind of easy. So this one's easy. What will be your next big purchase?
Wait, who are you asking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna ask DJ.
Okay. Ken is I think my next. Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say probably a computer, because I'm addicted to computers, or B, an AI shorts editing subscription that'll edit our shorts into our content into short form content.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, like Opus clips. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill?
Now you have to answer. Ken.
What? That was me. I answered.
Oh gosh, what is going on?
Bill, you have to answer.
Bill, I can't see.
I have to answer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's my next big purchase? That's a difficult question. I don't like to make any big purchases. I just bought an air purifier because I just moved into this place and it's very dusty. But I already made that purchase. So next big purchase. I don't purchase anything. I don't have any money. I got no money, so I don't purchase anything.
That's hilarious.
I don't think we're dating. It's just, oh, you're broke. Okay, well, move on. Done.
Yeah, we can't talk because she might want some filet mignon or something
That's right.
tomorrow.
We might be done.
Some red wine. You know what? You're assassinated.
Harsh. Harsh.
You think you'll level up, Bill? Come on.
Totally cold.
Harsh.
What, Ken?
Okay.
What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight I am drinking water.
Oh yeah.
Because water is healthy. It's the blood of the gods.
It's the blood of the gods. What about you, Sequoia?
I'm drinking some red wine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should get
what
some
kind of-
bourbon.
A little bit.
What kind of red wine?
It's the what is it called? I can't even remember the name. But it's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabernet's good. It's bold flavor.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Oh, it's a Pinot Noir. Never mind. It's the red Pinot Noir. That's what I'm drinking.
Nice. Where's
I
it
usually
from?
drink-
I love it.
Where's it from?
I love Pinot Noir.
What city or area?
I don't even know. I don't know. I gotta get the bottle. I don't even remember. I would have screenshot it because I have a red
Dude,
wine.
it's red.
I have a red wine in Flix.
I mean,
red wine in Flix podcast it. And I usually say the name and what the flavor tastes like, but I forgot to put.
But yeah, one of my favorite things is the Oregon wine. The like Willamette Pinots are the best right now.
Oh,
So if you go wine shopping and you find something from Willamette Valley, typically it's
Is that a
pretty
California one?
good. No, it's Oregon wine.
It's Oregon.
Yeah, that's where to go for wine
Oh,
right
yeah,
now. That's what's hot. It's what Napa Valley wine isn't. It went sideways. Now the real is Oregon.
Really?
It's
I had no
crazy.
idea.
It's crazy. I think climate change. It's made it move north.
Yeah. Climate change is real.
So
Despite what it said.
what's Ken's next question since I lost?
Yeah.
Okay, no, you didn't lose yet. It was a joke because I don't want people to be like, "Oh, that's how the game works." No, you didn't lose yet.
I mean, it's effective. It's like, oh, we're done. We don't want to date. That's great.
Woman may have a problem with that in the real world.
Nice.
You waste no time. Done.
It's crazy. So the next question is: have you ever been pulled over by the police? If so, for what?
Absolutely.
Going for Ken first, yep.
Yeah, many times. I used to run a college radio show, and my show ended at 2:00 in the morning, and I lived in this small town in Kentucky, where I am at right now, and that's about the time that the bars went out, and I had all these bumper stickers that were pretty anti-establishment on my car. So like every time I left, I drove through downtown where the bars were. And as soon as I got out of town, the police would pull me over. And
Oh my goodness!
I was sober as anything, but you know, it was
a joke.
Oh, they were trying to get that quota.
Yeah, they saw my car.
No, that doesn't exist.
I was profiled as I guess alternative or something. I don't know.
They thought you were mixed.
I am Cuban. I'm a quarter Cuban.
We've gone into the good territory.
You look like you're mixed with something. So that's
Yeah, I am a quarter Cuban.
He is. He's on quarter.
On the West Coast, you can have like dark black windows. Here, like in Georgia, you can't do that. You'll get in trouble. But here, you can have jet black windows.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
like,
then
Yeah.
in the
Yo,
summertime, I get really dark. I look pale now, but I do like I'll go out in the sun and you know I get very dark.
Oh yeah, that's good. I mean, you got to get the vitamin D. That helps fight COVID. That's what they say.
What about you, Bill? How often you get pulled over? And
I've been pulled over one time, and I was 17, and I was listening to Jesus music, like loud. We were going downtown, and downtown in Kentucky or Lexington is it's all one-way streets, and you can get lost really easily if you don't know it. I was following one of my buddies, and the light turned yellow when he went through. And when I went through, it was still yellow. I saw it turn red right as I looked up. And I happened to look right over and saw the cop sitting there, this redheaded motherfucker. And because I was so young and I was so stupid, I like slowed down because I'd broken the law, right? Running an orange light. And I was like, oh, well, I'll let him pass and, I want to be accountable. So I'm like slowing down on this one-way street, waiting to see if he passes. Of course, he turns. And it's like 30 seconds later, he pulls me over. It's one way, so like I'm in the way. There's nowhere to pull over. He comes up, turn off that fucking music. And I'm like, oh, turn that off. He's like, you were in the red light. And I was like, I didn't run the red light. I mean, it was yellow when I went through. I saw it turn red, but the rule is if you're in the intersection, you don't stop in the intersection. That would be unsafe. And he was like, don't argue with it. It was red before you went through. I saw it. So he was lying. This whole thing. And I had to go to the Goofy driver school, where like you go in and it's like 8 hours of like watching the Goofy movie, which actually isn't that bad. But I'm like, and traffic stops. Not right. It was I got taken. All the other times.
Is
he breaking up?
Yeah, I think Bill, you might want to restart your computer. Right. Do you hear me okay? I was wondering if it was me or if it was
Yeah, I thought it was me too. I can hear you now though.
Yeah. Your bandwidth is very. You are a robot, Bill. Robot Bill.
The internet's been messing up a lot.
I find this fun. I didn't know that. Oh, nice. I didn't know that Bill had gotten pulled over. So on that last interaction, who won that? Who was, or is there a winning, or is it just interesting?
Well, no, just conversations.
Are we supposed to ask you the same questions?
Yes. Well, you're supposed to ask me. Like sometimes, like one date I went on, I just asked him all the questions first because that's what he wanted. But you're supposed to go back and forth with questions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it all depends on how you want to play it.
So let's go back to the first one. What's your next big expense? What are you gonna buy?
I don't even know yet. Let me see. I mean, it's so much I want to do, but I'll say the next big purchase will be a multiplex.
A multi what?
Multiplex.
A multi. What does that do? I didn't.
It's like 4 apartments in one building.
A multiplex. Oh.
Yeah.
So why are you buying a multiplex?
So I can rent it out and make money so I can eventually leave a regular job.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's real. Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that you plan on doing in the near future. I mean, what is the goal for that?
Near future, next year sometime.
Next year.
It's wow. Yeah, because I've been plotting on it for years.
Sure.
So it's been a long-term thing. Mm-hmm. And although I still love tech and stuff, but if I could go freelance with tech or something, I would prefer that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then what about you getting pulled over? Why'd you get pulled over?
I got pulled over. Well, recently, what I got pulled for? And that was just like a few years ago. But I was holding up my phone in LA. I was talking on the phone, and in LA, you're not allowed to hold your phone while you're. Yeah. And I got pulled over, and he was just like, he saw the Seattle plates because at that time I just moved from Seattle, and he's like, well, since you're from Seattle, you don't know the rules around here. I'll let you slide. I said, okay. So I didn't even get in trouble. He just gave me a warning.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That did not happen. I did get pulled over in LA a few times. I was sober both times. One of them was because I had a dirty car. Like, LA dirty car is like, you don't wash the car and my girlfriend at the time, she was in Beverly Hills. So like I'm driving through in this Plymouth Grand Voyager, this big, if you ever saw the movie Get Shorty, maybe, like the Plymouth Grand Voyager, this sort of big green van, and it was just covered in maybe an inch or two of dust. And they were
goodness.
like, you need to wash your car.
Oh wow! They pull you over for that.
Yeah. So I thought that was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
hey, your car's dirtier than mine then, because my car needs to be clean all the time. But
yeah. Well, that was a long time ago. I think that was around 2000, early 2000s.
yeah, that's crazy. The cops pull you over for anything nowadays.
For sure. But you know, it's easy to get out of tickets when you're sober and not breaking any laws. Or at least I've had that experience. I know that other people have had different experiences with that.
Definitely different experiences with that. I mean, I got lucky with my situation, but you never know. Could have went. I've been lucky with the cops, but I don't know. They think I'm probably a kid. I mean, a lot of people think I'm younger than what I am, so they might think I'm just some kid, a young person that don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
But they don't see anything on my record. I don't have a driving record or nothing. I don't have anything. Right. I don't even have a speeding ticket. So they're just like, eh.
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, some of the stuff that's happened over the years, from what I've seen. But I feel like this is a date, so let's keep it light. And
it can turn into that though. But this is what I want to show.
Yeah.
Because Ken and Bill, because it could turn into more conversation. I'm telling you, it takes you into a whole nother conversation. That's the point of the card game.
Oh wow!
Like that's what I want people to get, is that you can literally go on topic, and I've done that. Like, I've been on dates and the guys, like, we totally end up talking about other stuff off the topic. Like, it gets that way.
Right. So this kind of leads to a question. I mean, that could easily go into like racism in
easily.
And then you can find out what a person has thoughts about, the epidemic that our country has faced about being pulled over while black, for sure. One.
Yeah.
So
that's a good.
I think that's a great way to suss out red flags. Get kind of where they are on a political spectrum.
See?
And you can go down.
It's like a litmus test.
Absolutely.
To some people, I mean, and it's all based on difference. Because one guy, oh my God, he wasn't even a customer. This is the weird thing. He was a freaking Amazon reviewer, and he left a crazy review on my card game saying that, it's going to end your relationship and stuff. I'm like, well, if it's going to end your relationship, then maybe you guys didn't know each other, because this card game is for people that, really don't know each other. And evidently you didn't know the woman. If I ended your relationship because you didn't want to ask if you had a felony, he didn't like that question. And I'm like, well, I mean, she should know if you had a felony, and it's not a bad thing. Or it depends on the person if it's bad or not.
And on it, I mean, I've been in a relationship, pretty good relationship, for about 10 years now, not quite 10 years. And, you want to go through this information early on. You want the red flags to just to pop up, because this last time around, if suddenly I find out, I'm for the guy that's into mass deportation. 10 years later, like, how did I know this about you? See,
that's the problem. That's the point of it. That's the point of it.
Sure.
That's why I don't repeat the questions.
Sure. So, do what?
Oh, what was you about to say?
Oh, I was just, I thought you said something. But I like the game. I like the premise. How many cards are in the game?
It's 150.
150. And do you have a favorite question, or were those kind of some of your favorites?
Oh my God. I mean, I think I don't know for a favorite, but I would say, I'm just trying to think of which one would be my favorite. I mean, for me personally, let's say I'm dating, I would want to know if you're a risk taker or are you scary? Because I'm a risk taker and I can't have anybody scary with me because then I'm going to be pulled back. And that might not be my personality, and I'm trying to sit here and wrestle with him. So that's my favorite question: are you a risk taker or a scary ass? That's what the question is.
And does it not depend on what kind of risk? I mean, there are different types of risks. If you're going to push me out of a plane, and we're doing parachuting every weekend, that's kind of a deal breaker for me. But if you want to do a startup, podcast network, I mean that's a risk.
I mean, but that's a good question. Though. If you're with someone and they might be talking about different risks, and it's like clarify that. But I definitely I'm a risk taker that's safe.
Well, it seems like you're an entrepreneur as well. I mean, if you're looking into buying a fourplex in the next year, and so you can do freelance and have more autonomy, that is it's more risk, but I mean it's not, because then you could get fired from any job if you're full time. Where I've been,
what I was thinking.
I've been freelance for 25 years, and every time I've ever run into problems, it's when I've had a job for a year or two, and then they fire me, and I'm like, but I need the money to keep coming.
See, that's the thing. Like people are, I think people are seeing it more now, but like it is risky. Just anything really in regular job is risky because you don't know what can happen. So it's like, why not? That's why I don't see the problem. That's why I can't. Most persons push me to say it out because I don't want to be someone who doesn't understand that.
Yeah. So, what has the game ever found love? Has anyone ever have they gotten back to you and said, "Oh, this person, I really like this person"? Any marriages yet, or at least
No, not yet. And I mean, honestly, my marketing is not the best. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to work on marketing it better. I mean, there's a few things I've done. I tried to push it and stuff, but I'm trying to get better at it. And I got some ideas coming up, and so I'm excited about that to see what can happen. Like putting a commercial here, just doing different things. Just putting it on a billboard. That's something like that. That's always like the different ways to do it now where it's not as much money to do it. So stuff like that. So I'm hoping to do something. So I'm planning on that towards the end of the year to next year.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast and kind of what you're doing with that. And it's called Blue Alchemist.
Yes, so Blue Alchemist. Yes.
And it seems interesting. You've got a very wide range of different guests on the podcast. You are talking to nurses, and it seems like you've got some haunting stories that you tell. It's really a wide amount of topics. Where do you come up with the ideas for your podcast?
Oh my God. So like, I mean, I always say, I thought I was just unorthodox as a singer, right? But I'm unorthodox in everything I do. I've learned. And when it comes to the topics, it just comes out of nowhere. So I might be reading a book, watching a movie, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast on this. And then I just come up with something to say. It's really crazy. But it's like you never run out of topics because there's so many stories that's untold and stuff like that. So, and then the guests, like, I kind of go off their vibe and stuff, and I just kind of pick certain people that I feel like could bring something to the world. So, yeah, and I just talk to anybody. I don't care if you're in tech to, I don't know, sex workers or whatever. I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
About what it's doing.
Have you talked to some sex workers?
No, not yet. I had one reach out to me and I didn't contact, but she's not one anymore now. She's, changed and stuff, but I was supposed to write her and get her on the show.
Sure. Or former sex workers. I mean, I feel like it's an interesting occupation, and they call it one of the oldest professions for sure. And
I just got trolled.
No, you didn't. No, you're walking in. You're walking in on some good stuff. I think that we should. I think we should interview a sex worker, because I know that there are sex workers in games, and I think that's if you run across a sex worker for your podcast, being in Las Vegas, I feel like we should be accurate. I'm a big fan of accuracy, because Bill and I play role-playing games quite a bit, and having an accurate, personality in a game. I mean, I can't imagine it's like GTA or anything like that. There's a dynamic there.
Yeah.
Right now, one of my characters is in a game that we play is actually involved with the sex worker.
Oh, what is the game called?
It's called the Red Rit.
Oh.
The Red Red. Yeah. So, on that note, I've got like 3 things to say. Wow. This is I hope it's not terribly non sequitur, because I don't entirely know how you guys got to prostitution. How'd you guys get to prostitution?
I was talking about the podcast. I was talking about like how basically all the stories and stuff, and how the stories. And I said to anyone from tech to sex worker.
Oh, I see. And he jumped on it. Nice. Well, good. So in gaming, at these, do you go to Comic Cons or gaming conventions or cosplay stuff? Or absolutely. Gen Con, you got to hit it up with this game of yours.
Yeah, I had someone else tell me that, and I just didn't.
Oh yeah.
Look yet.
Oh yeah, you would sell a lot. Especially kind of. Would you consider this a party game?
I think it could be, because one of the guys said that he would play with 10 people. So I'm like, okay,
There you go. Finding out. I'm not trying to give you business advice here at all, because you're more successful than I am. But finding out like maybe those questions or those adaptations, because one of the things that I found at Gen Con, actually it may have been Dragon Con, which is Atlanta. Were you in Atlanta in Georgia?
Yeah, I lived in Stockbridge, Georgia, but it was like 20 minutes away from Atlanta.
Yeah, so you know about Dragon Con?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I used to.
It's huge. It's huge. If you're into cosplay or any of that, Dragon Con's the way to go. But regardless, at both of those, one in Indianapolis, Gen Con, one in Dragon Con's in Atlanta. I played this. I guess it's a party game, and the long and the short of it was it could include 20 people, 30 people, but you're working together. The premise is there's 2 teams, and one team is attempting to subvert the other team, and you have different cards that give you like an identity, and you keep them secret, and so people are trying to figure out who they want on their team and who they don't, and who they want to trade, and there's rounds, and at the end you have different objectives. But it's really fun, very easy. If you can run that, like, hey guys, you want to get into a game? Let's do this. Boom. 20 minutes later, and then maybe they actually know each other. I think it'd be awesome.
Well, that'd be interesting.
I think games like this do very well at conventions, because people want to meet people. Now, how do I pull that into prostitution? Well, there are a lot of OnlyFans people at these cons, because it kind of coincides. It's working for yourself, a lot of cosplays into it, alternative culture, all that kind of stuff. And maybe more of a mentality that, for lack of a better word, is less conservative. So you have people that are like, hey, there's no problem with this kind of work so long as it's safe. And they happen to be big geeks and gamers, and people that are inundated at all times with that kind of culture, I think would respond very well to a game that says, hey, look, actually find out who this person is. You can trust this person. You can vet them beyond the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be good. Because one question is very hairy that I think scares people. It's very hairy, but I wouldn't change it. There's one question that's super hairy that I think is
what is it?
Do you have STDs? Is one of them. I think that scares people.
Whoa. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's scary. Oh, maybe that's scary. It
doesn't scare me, but
it's embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a small penis? Like, it's not something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, or do you have too big of a penis?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Like, especially with things you can't change, that you can also keep hidden. And that's a human condition right there.
You can say pass.
Yeah, but if you say pass, come on.
I mean, yeah. You gotta embrace it. If you got it, you gotta embrace it. I mean,
do you have any STDs? Pass. It's like, indeed.
I like that in the role-playing game that we played because my character got an STD from.
Yeah, he did.
But I think the way that I played the character, he had several STDs before.
Oh, thanks.
It's so going to the game that we're talking about. It's Dreadlore. I'm a shill for my own game. It's a tabletop role-playing game, and you can do it. You can use it for any setting, pretty much any setting. It's very good for cooperative storytelling. For your characters are the story, and you can get very immersive into your character. That's what the rules allow, and sort of enforce. So that means games that are horror games or psychological.
That sounds fun.
You can really get into some interesting stuff that way. If you want to do more of like a break down the door, go kill the monsters, combat, numbers, I think a game like D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, is better than Dreadlore. You can do it in Dreadlore, but the game's not really situated or suited for it.
I disagree. To not just disagree with you flat out. I like the Dreadlore mechanic for fighting because it's shorter. Whereas Dungeons and Dragons, you go into a scenario that is 25 seconds long. In real life or in game time, that takes
25 hours.
10 minutes to play.
Siquoyia, have you played D&D or any of those games?
No, I haven't. I mean, I used to work for Riot Games, and
who'd you work for?
Oh, Riot Games. So I played for I played League of Legends and stuff, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the game.
Yeah, it's out of time for me. I played video games back in the day. Nowadays, I'll play Donkey Kong and Miss Pac-Man.
My buddy,
I like that.
My buddy, Bill knows him. Xavier has some music in Arcane, the League of Legends.
Man, have you ever heard the Fantastic Negrito?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Fantastic Negrito. Is it Negrito?
Yeah, Negrito.
Yeah, this dude he's so good. He's so good. And here's the thing. If you listen to his music, I bet you've heard it before.
I probably have. It's just like, because I listen to a lot I love music. I listen to a lot.
He was...
This dude is solid. He's so good.
He was a Tiny Desk concert winner. And that kind of broke him
nice.
number of years ago. He used to... Like in the back of the day, he used to play a tour with like De La Soul and
he's a fantastic showman.
Oh, he's
Ken invited me to do some audiovisual stuff with him. Basically, I just watched the camera and made sure no one bumped into it. But I got to go to this concert for free, and it was just him and a guitar, and he had a pianist.
Oh,
And it was
Yeah.
the charisma is ridiculous on this guy.
wow. Yeah, I mean, good showmanship is important more than just singing. It's definitely it makes the crowd excited.
And
He
his
does a
lyrics,
cover of In the Pines that is like it's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Anyway,
Wow.
You're a musician, aren't you, Siquoyia?
Indeed.
Oh yeah. I call myself abstract soul, so I do abstract soul music. I mean, I'm just submitting for movies and stuff right now, but I
Really?
eventually want to do shows and
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just submitting for like shows. I want to get picked up somehow.
Yeah. Do you have any content on YouTube or is it Bandcamp or?
It's Sequoia Blue. Yep. And I have I have like 3 YouTube channels. So
Oh, nice.
The Blue Podcast and then Sequoia Blue was the music and tech. I mean, I didn't do any tech videos.
What's the sort of vibe?
Oh, that's not my song.
That's not you.
Yeah, what's the vibe of your songs?
I would say it's soulful, funky, and uplifting. It's like motivational, but at the same time it's sexy.
Help me find it.
Are you?
It's S-I.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I am terrible at spelling.
No, it might autocorrect me because it does that to me. There I am.
Top
are you
or bottom?
cool?
Top or both?
Top is.
Right.
Are you cool with us
both.
playing one of the songs on here, so people can hear?
You can. I mean,
tell me what to play.
Okay. Let's see which one to play. I would say play Underwater.
All right.
One of
Are we gonna get dinged? The content?
No cuss words in this.
No, the cuss words
No,
are
we're
fine.
we're not
the
monetizing
copyright.
it.
Yeah, the copyright. We're
I
not.
don't think so.
We're not.
But I am with a distributor, but I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't think.
I mean, right now it doesn't matter. We're not monetizing anything.
Well, as long as we don't get like a block that will what's it called? Like
an actual strike. No, you're not going to get a strike for that.
Yeah.
At the very least, it would just cut the audio.
Oh yeah, we could cut the audio. That's great. Well, I'm gonna hit play on this thing, and
or at the worst, it would cut the audio.
We'll see how it. We don't ever.
That's a cool graphic.
Yeah, I had someone tell me along.
That's neat.
I was like, okay.
Can you guys hear it? Okay, or?
Yeah, I can hear it. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's cool as shit, dude.
No, thanks. Yeah, I don't even promote that enough, really.
Dude, that bass is dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked with a really good producer on that one.
I love the artwork on that too.
Yeah, the artwork.
Oh yeah, I drew that.
Great.
I painted it.
Really?
Yeah, I painted it myself before AI art. I do AI art too, but
yeah,
I can paint.
Dude, that's a vibe. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
strong
I want to use it in the game.
Yeah, well,
So-
if it's okay for us to use, we'll add you to our game. Some of them we'll throw some.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'll help me out.
So check it out.
Promoting.
So check it out in the Red Writ, which is the campaign that we're doing. It's a sort of like a gothic horror game. So it's set in 1982, Detroit, and the long and the short of it is there's cultists that are trying to summon a thing. So think of like you've seen Ghostbusters, right?
Oh yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of like these cultists are summoning Zool, you know, the woman at the end. But one of the characters who I can't say too much because they haven't finished the game and Ken doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, if I know, then I'm gonna exploit it because I don't have. I met a game.
Well, I also don't want to tell you.
Yeah, right.
But one of the characters that they've run into is a jazz singer.
Sure.
And named Levi, and they think that she's no good, but her music hypnotizes people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this song would be so cool to play kind of when she's around, to kind of have this vibe, you know, because she's a jazz singer in like this sultry nightclub.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Because people do say it's jazzy. I had someone say that jazzy.
Yeah. And she's Creole too. So she's like from down in it.
Wow. Anyway. I like Creole food.
No,
Creole food's awesome.
Yeah.
Going back to
that'd be an honor because I'm trying to get better at promoting this.
Well, we will promote you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to promote.
So did you all finish up the questions, or I had to restart my internet because internet?
Oh no, we didn't. Yeah, we had stopped for a minute.
All right. Well, let's do 2 or 3 more questions. Also,
okay.
1 here.
I'll pick one that's toasty. That might scare some people. It doesn't scare me. Not the one I said.
You have any STDs? No. There's your answer.
Yeah, me, I'll be like, no.
No.
Let's see. Okay, here's one here. Have you ever tried phone sex?
Yes.
Ken, on you.
Yes, absolutely. I was young. I met this girl at a party in Nashville, and I liked her a lot. And I lived in Lexington, so it's 4-hour drive. Yeah, it's great. I've never done like where you show pictures. This is like the 90s, so this is on a telephone.
There's T9, baby,
with a cord.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
What are you wearing?
It was all descriptions. It was descriptions and not.
It's role play.
It was role play. It was not. It was definitely not like I'm against. I don't like people sending me sexy photos, and I'm not going to send anybody sexy photos because the responsibility that is included in that. You send somebody a sexy photo, your phone gets hacked, it gets leaked on the internet. That's your responsibility. I'm not gonna take that responsibility.
That's true.
And so when people have sent me photos in the past, I mean, not in the last 10 years, but before that, I would say I don't want that responsibility. And I would delete it off my phone, and I would ask them to not do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you never know. Get to the cloud, someone can hack it. I don't know.
Yeah. What about you?
Right
Bill?
now, Bill.
No. I have not.
And I have not either.
Yeah. I'm more of a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
I feel like I'm on my own here.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you haven't lived. You haven't lived until you got to experiment.
I think a lot of people have, though. I think more people have than didn't. I don't know. Some tells me.
Well, that's the like. If someone's actually good at dirty talk, it's actually like you should make a book and tell people like Dirty Talk 101. I tried to do dirty talk one time many moons ago. My girlfriend at the time was like, "You never do dirty talk," and I was like, "I don't know what to say." And so there's a moment where we were engaged in what you do when you dirty talk, and she was like, "Oh yeah, talk dirty to me," and I was like, the only thing that popped in my head, because we were about to go to dinner, right, and we were going to go get some Indian food, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, girl, you ready for some Indian food?"
I don't even want to think of sex. I like Indian food and sex to me
did it again.
Are wrong on every level. So yeah,
I think it's best to not talk. That's for me.
Yeah.
Just shut up and be pretty. That's what I need to do. Don't open your mouth. Just shut up. You're gonna ruin it.
No.
So yeah, sex is not my deal.
I love
I
Indian
am
food,
perfectly fine accepting naughty pictures, unlike Ken. I just changed my password.
Ah,
Oh, well, that's a good one. It's a good one, too. All right, let's see. Do you like casinos?
oh,
What?
Do you like casinos?
Oh, casinos.
casinos. I've been to Las Vegas a few times. I was in search for a dance club.
You mean a discotheque?
Yeah, discotheque.
No.
I wanted to go dancing in Las Vegas, and you get into this thing in Las Vegas. I'm sure you know all about this, Siquoyia, where you start walking down a path and you hear this rumor like, oh, they're doing this club somewhere, and it's got a VIP section, and some famous celebrity is going to be there. And yeah, they'll probably have some good music. And then you get there and you're just standing and waiting, and the music's kind of like, nah, and nobody's dancing, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, no, I didn't even I haven't gambled in a casino. Had opportunity, but I like my money in my pockets. Bill?
I feel you on that one.
God, yes, I love casinos. See, I don't gamble for a reason. I've never been to Vegas. I went to the airport and I was like, there's slot machines. I went to Reno, the poor man's Vegas with my buddy Ross. We were on a spirits quest, coming back from LA to the east, and we went through Reno, continuously listening to the Johnny Cash song. And the place we stayed was this casino/hotel. And I was like, I'm going to go do blackjack, because while I do know how to play the other games, I'm terrible at them and I always lose my money. So I was like, blackjack, I know that there's a better probability. I kind of understand the game a little bit, and I want some bourbon and cokes. So I'm sitting there doing my thing. I'm up $200. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm about to tell the story that everyone tells when they go to a casino, right? You guys can probably finish this story.
Yeah, you lost it all.
And then I lost it all. But why didn't I stop?
Because you're having a good time and you're drunk.
No, because I can clearly win it back.
One more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were up and then you're down. And so there's a moment where I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go back to the room. It's like 4 a.m. And I've got this hallway walk to the room. There's like a little skywalk to the hotel part. And it was one of the harder walks that I made, because I turned around several times to go back. And I was like, I've got $50. I bet I could get that 200 back. I bet I could do it. And it boom, boom, boom. It took me like 15 minutes to walk this walk that's like 45 feet. And in the reason that I did not go back is I was like, if I'm struggling this much, I'm done. I can't. I have seen a weakness, and that is a weakness. So
yeah, you realize that's good. You learned.
Yeah. Bill don't gamble. Because Bill likes to gamble.
And
I'm a slots person.
So you like casinos, Siquoyia? How's the money? Do you win? Do you lose? Do you break even?
Oh, I mean, I just don't put too much money into it, because my mom's the real goat. She'll go out there and just drop the money. But I'm like the person who's like, okay, after 20. But sometimes there's certain times where I get overly excited. Let's spend, oh no, I spent $200. Okay, that I do. And sometimes I'll win. Most of the time I lose. So it's really, I really go to people watch. So it's really fun that people watch it. Really great. Just put your game card in there so you can get coins to get some free foods. Like that.
Yeah, I think you're kind of breaking up a little bit. I didn't catch what you said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
A little better.
Yeah.
Okay, I just moved to a different. Okay, I don't know why it's breaking up.
That's what it is.
Let's see. But yeah, I go to casino and I just I play low bets and stuff, and I just sit there and get free drinks and people watch, especially when I go
Right.
along.
That's the right way to do it. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Chill out, people watch, and so the way that I rolled in, which did save my ass, was I was like, okay, I've got $50 that I am spending. I'm spending this money. And Drizzle, who's one of our buddies who's on the game or in the campaign, and sometimes he's on Geeky Gamer podcast. Drizzle, he goes to Vegas every so often. And he was like, yeah, I'll go in because I'm a big boy. I'll take $1,000. And he's like, I'm spending that. If I come out ahead, great. But that's the money. That's my fun money. And I'm done. Once that's out, I'm done. And I like that mentality of I'm not going to a casino to make money. I'm going to have fun. I'm going for the experience. Exactly. I'm going for the experience. If you think of it that way, then there's no, oh, I'll go sell my fucking kids. Like, you don't want that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say this.
I like this game because it really gives us a chance to talk about ourselves, and I think that is how that's how you win a date. That's how you find a person. When I was dating, the secret, the magic trick to it was get them talking. I didn't want to say a word. I didn't want to say 2 words. Like I taught myself how to shut up. I can't do it on this show for some reason. I can't,
It's because you're not trying to fuck anybody.
Yeah, I guess that must be it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
but people will talk themselves into, anything. And they like when somebody's talking about themselves, they love you. This person's listening. This person is feeling me and understanding me. And it just takes a couple of words. Oh yeah. I think that's really interesting. And maybe throw in a detail or two to show that you are actually listening, because that's how you ask the next question to understand more about the person.
There we go. See, you get it. I love it. I gotta put this video somewhere so they can see this clip, so people can understand how it works.
That's it. So I have a few questions about the game. One, how did you come up with it? What inspired you?
Oh my goodness. So, of course I was working at Riot Games, and I felt the game spirit. But then the guys, I was the only lady tech in there because I was a knock technician there. So I was in the knock, and all the guys would be talking about their dating life and their stories and stuff.
What is a knock?
Network operations center. So I was when I see an alert or something going on, to go and talk to the teams and stuff to see what's going on. I was doing that, and it was a really easy job, really. The people can make it work, but the job is easy. So basically, the guys in there was talking about their dating life and stuff.
You're breaking up a little bit, by the way.
Oh.
You got to get out of that Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, so basically the guys were talking about their dating stories and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, let's." They were telling me questions they should have asked the ladies. They used to, and I used to be like, "Okay, I should ask the guy this thing." And then I was like, what if I create a game where people can get to know each other?
No, we lost you.
Yeah, I think you went. It's weird. Like when you start talking, it starts out clear and then it just gets more and more.
Are you getting further? Do you have Bluetooth earphones in?
No, I don't. Actually, I didn't put them on for a reason, because I was like, it's gonna. Here, I can put my headphones might be worse.
Yeah, but you're on a phone, right?
Yeah, I'm on the phone.
Yeah. So I think when it's close.
Yeah, you got to talk into it like it's just a couple inches away. Yeah. I think.
Okay, is this better?
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so basically they were telling me all the questions they wanted to know and stuff, and they should have asked it, but one guy, he was just kind of a nervous type dude, so he really felt like he was too shy to ask the questions, and the other guy was the alpha, the cool suave guy, but he felt like he failed to ask certain questions that he should have asked. He just forgot. So I started out, yeah, and then I was hanging out with some ladies, and they were telling me some questions they would like to know. They forgot to ask, or they don't know, what to ask, stuff like that. And I asked them what they want to know. So I compiled. It was basically research. So a lot of these questions are from people that actually want to know these questions. This isn't just from, from something meetings. These are the questions that we compile from just talking to people. So, and then I thought of some I want to know and just put them all together. And so that's how I came up with the 150 questions. And it was more I could have came up with because there's so many things you could ask, but I didn't know. I just was like, let me start 150. And so,
you wanted the starter. Yeah, I get it. Ken, what were you saying?
Yeah. And
are there more? Do you have a companion? Do you have a part 2 or like 150 like additional or like questions that you're putting together?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing a part 2 for Dating Assassins. Once I get this one out there the way I need to, I said I was going to do a part 2, and then because the other game that I create, the other game that's similar, this one's Match Assassins, so that's more so for like anybody to play, and it's not so. I don't know why this game might be nervous for people, but the other game is more relaxed and stuff. It's more just anybody could play that one. It's a matching game, so that one's coming out before I do a part 2 to this one.
It's the stakes.
Yeah,
it's the idea that what can you lose, what can you gain. If people feel like they can fail, then that starts to have this idea of apprehension, I would say. Now, have you made this game? Is it actually out?
It's physically available. Like I got some TikTok people that have done videos for me and stuff. And yeah, I'm trying to basically sell them out so I can get the new instructions on the new decks. So I got like 300 decks left. And so I'm trying to.
So I have a couple. They're kind of boring questions, but I think it's insightful or informative for one, myself, but also for people that are interested in doing this kind of thing and whatnot. Ken, did you have any more interesting questions loaded?
My only interesting question, I had one, and it was about like long-term relationships, because when the spark is gone and you don't have anything to say to each other,
the thrill is gone.
But you really love this person, and like it seems like a game like this might be helpful in renewing some of the things if you've kind of lost touch and lost,
Oh my God, what a cool game. Patch Up Assassin or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what the name is. I'm terrible at names.
Divorce.
Dude, it's a totally game. It's a game. It's like the add-on of Get Back Together. Dude, you gotta mark it.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one too. Because I think I don't even know if I added that line in there. That could be rekindled, but yeah, I think it could. I mean, because the fun of it all, like having a drink and talking. I mean, you might forget what that person's favorite hobby is or something. Who knows?
Well, and it's just hard to come up with topics to talk about sometimes. You're sitting there,
that's true too.
You're in the middle of it. You've got a bunch of stuff in your own head that you're, kind of into, and like asking about the person's day. That's helpful. But
but it's such a boring question. Hey, how was your day?
Yeah,
what do you mean? How was my day?
Yeah,
how's life? It's like I fucking hate that question.
How'd you sleep last night? I mean,
it's good, shitty. Like it's inviting platitudes, and this one again, going back to gaming or tabletop role playing games. One of the things that I think people struggle with is essentially TTRPGs, right? Tabletop role playing games. Require, or the kind that I like, let me define Dreadlore, the game that I created. Those kinds of games require creativity and energy.
Yes.
And you cannot have platitudes, nonsensical, it was fine. And it feels like this game, you can't hide. You can say pass, or you get called out. You answer, you say pass. Those are definitive answers. Yo, here's the answer. Or pass. That's a decision. If they don't make a decision, something happens.
Yep.
These kinds of games require real interaction.
Yes.
A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the point. If you've got somebody who like, do you want to be with somebody who is always skirting the issue, giving you platitudes, never answering the question? No. You need a fucking scorecard. How many times did they answer? How many times did they pass?
Yeah, you got to get a 10 or above.
Dude. Keeping score is a short film that Ken created.
Oh, it's true. It's true. True.
Well, that's true. Yeah. If you want to keep, I think people could like really create their own thing. You can definitely keep score. I mean, that'd be fun. I mean, like, that'd be fun. Yeah.
You could do that in a group. You do that like a whole, you could have events, whole dating game events. Oh my God.
So I know.
I was thinking about that, but I'm like, that'd be so fun. I'd like speed dating, but
yeah,
that'd be cool. Like I was thinking about that. Or at least a conversation thing, because the thing with speed dating is like the men don't show up. It's a bunch of women and no men. So I didn't, and that's gonna suck.
Huh.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hosted a speed dating event a long time ago in Atlanta, and it was so many women that showed up, and like it was like 4 men, and they only wanted 1 man out of the 4. I was like, good Lord. So they didn't like the other men at all. They want the tall dudes.
Well, there's a lot of bad dudes out there.
Yeah, but this is also a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually, I am absolutely going to bring this into a little bit more of an academic idea. Siquoyia, the reason that I asked you about the inspiration for this, and specifically dating, was what do you get out of it? What keeps you going on this project?
Oh my God, that's such a good question. What keeps me going is helping somebody avoid what I went through. Helping somebody avoid what I think others go through by not knowing certain things, and because I feel like I was in my 20s, I was super shy and I didn't ask no questions. It might have been in my head, but I didn't ask it. And now I can blame it on the game. So for me, if you say, well, the game to the game, ask the question.
Oh, we're losing you again. Come back to us.
Yeah, it'll give me a chance to answer and be like, okay, this person's not right for me because I asked the questions and you help save someone else's life. Because to me, relationships are life or death, as well as friendships. When you hang around with the team, hard to help you grow. And so I know women that hair fell out from a relationship, hair falling out of their head. I mean, they're not eating. And it's because you got involved with someone you didn't. And it's the questions seeking morals and values and mind. And so this thing,
we're in muffle mode at this point for me.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's just I think what is the last thing you heard, Bill?
I heard because.
Because.
Can you hear me now?
I heard the important part.
Oh goodness, I don't know why it's not doing that now, but next time I'll be on my computer because this thing.
You have an iPhone?
Nope, I'm a Droid baby. I'm a Droid.
You're a Droid baby. All right. Well, that means it's got to be right here. Got to eat it.
Yeah, eat that mic.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't like iPhones, but
yeah, see that now you sound great. So whatever position you have it in, that's the one.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, what keeps me going is that I've seen women, they tell me stories of their hair falling out and all this stuff over a bad relationship and then being depressed, not eating and stuff like that. And men too. So it's like, for me, I wanted to help somebody hopefully eliminate that. I'm not saying it can give you all the answers, but it can set the precedence to make you think and say, do I really want to go this far with this person? Make something with the answer. So
that's interesting.
That's interesting.
I think I think Bill's gonna segue you into the business side of things.
Yeah. Please do the interesting questions because I have a couple.
Yeah, no,
very boring
I feel
ones.
like go ahead, get the business, because you can have great ideas, and I think that we've played this game, and I think we've had fun.
It's fun.
But
I love it.
Marketing and business, and I'm sure I'm taking Bill's question, but how do you get it out there?
No, go for it.
How do you get it out there?
Well, so far, I got with TikTok. I joined TikTok, and I got with I'm on Podmatch, and I've also took a class. I took a training class on ads, so I was able to make sales from Facebook ads and stuff like that. Of course, the key is to keep the ads running, and of course, at times you're like, okay, you don't have the budget to keep it running, so that's really the main issue. But I'm trying to figure out what the plan is to keep the ads running, not only the limit ads and they get the sales to keep it going.
When you say ads, what do you mean? What do you mean ads? You mean Facebook ads? You mean Amazon ads?
Instagram. Facebook ads is Instagram ads. Because once you set it up on Facebook, it goes to Instagram if you wanted to. And so I use that. And I use Amazon ads. But Amazon is my biggest seller. Amazon is the biggest one where I get most of my sales, which I don't like because I feel like Amazon charges me and they take little fees and they get on my nerves. So I do want the website to be the king, and I'm trying to do it. But Amazon is just what people are going to. And right now it's like a break from Amazon with it right now because I really want to get some attention on the website. So I wanted to see.
You want to cut out the middleman, is what you want to do.
Yeah,
I do. It's annoying, but I know it's a while before I can drop in.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like we're on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I mean, I was doing a podcast in 2019, and we would do an ad, we'd drop an ad, and it would go really far, and we get thousands of impressions for very little money. By 2020, 2021, you put the same amount of money, you would get to like 10 people. And it seems like that, it's something you have to do if you've got a product that you want to sell. I think that's an interesting, it's part of, it's ingrained in our society, with television, probably starting, or radio starting it off, where they would hire people to act out some commercial or something like that. And us, even though we're doing this stuff because we're geeky. So the more we know, we feel like we can deck out our aesthetic. And so I feel like that's why, we do these podcasts, is because we are interested in other people and what they're into and what they're about, and meeting people that we would have never met on the street necessarily, because we're in different cities. And even though I do like to talk to random strangers on the street, my girlfriend thinks I'm insane, but I like it.
Oh my goodness. It's fine. Yeah, I talk to random people at casinos sometimes, so it could happen. We meet different, but that's the thing about podcasting. You meet so many people from all over. And
oh yeah, one of our so our last guest was a rabbi who has done many and knows tons about gaming and game design. One of my favorite guests that we've ever had is this filmmaker from Iran. And dude, this guy's story, it was impactful, like dealing with real physical stuff.
Especially the conversations about like, I don't think I should
can't
talk about this.
Can't talk about that.
You can't talk about that. You can't, because
big time stuff.
And he,
he's like, they'll kill you.
Just being on the podcast, he used a VPN. He couldn't, just being on the podcast was illegal-ish.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Dang,
he
that's
didn't.
an
He
interesting
didn't
thing.
show a woman's hair, so he's not going to get killed.
No, I mean, as a man, I think he's got more rights, and he's probably
Definitely. Well, I mean, he admitted that.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. So a little bit more fun of a conversation. Siquoyia.
Oh, it's been fun. Yeah.
I will preface this question with, I have a beautiful lady friend who I am in love with. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask this question: are you with somebody right now?
No.
Now, have you employed your dating assassin game to be with someone, or do you want that?
Well, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not ready for a relationship right now, so I haven't been dating. I didn't put myself out there. Of course, I'm open. Like if I meet someone, and he's cool and stuff, I definitely will play the game with him. I'll ask him. Of course, if he doesn't want to, you don't have to. But I would actually throw in the question somewhere, even if he doesn't know. But yeah.
Would you break out the box? Would you be like, "Hey, what's up? Check it out." Boom.
Well, I'm
play this game real quick.
Yeah, I actually would, because I think that it can
All
help
right.
me decide. I would. My last 2 dates that I went on, I actually bought out the box.
Right on. I mean, you made
But
it.
I
That's
asked
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Hey, I made this really quick. Check this out. This is what's going to happen. So, how did those encounters go?
So, well, you know what? So my last date, I didn't even play the game with him on the last date, because I didn't get the energy from him that I even wanted to even play the game with him. Actually, the last date before him, I played the game, and I just felt like he could answer the question.
You felt like what?
But the first
You have faded from.
Yeah,
Go back to that one room in that one position.
Yeah, you gotta just hold it right there in the spot.
Okay. Oh, right here. Okay, I'm right here now.
Yeah,
I think. Okay, now it looks like it's.
that's beautiful.
So, basically, the last guy that I used the game with, it was like we were just the first place we went to, just chat and stuff, getting to know each other. And then I was like, "That's about the game." Like, I like games. What is it about? Tell me about. He said, "I could play." I said, "Oh, you really want to play?" He said, "Yeah." So, I kept the game in my pocket, but just all the time. Like, I don't want to play here. Let's go to a bar. Labs. Fine. Play the game.
Okay. This is what I heard, because you went to super treble that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard the first time was okay, but then there was a second time, and then it cut out.
Oh no. Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
I don't know why it's doing that, because it's like this.
Because it's a phone, and it's tech, and it's just,
It might be Discord mixed in with the phone.
It could also be Discord.
One of the things we do on our podcast is we make our role-playing game podcast is we made everybody buy equipment so the audio.
Well, you know what? My desktop is usually never fails, because I just go on my phone, because I didn't know. I don't know. I have Discord on my computer.
Yeah, the app versus, I mean, Discord, they say that it works on a phone, but I don't think so. I think Discord is a desktop thing, in my opinion.
And
so
yeah,
what happened with this guy?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, so basically, we played the game, and like he answered all the questions. I told him we didn't have to do all the questions. We said 150 questions, and he wanted to answer. We wanted to do all of them. And we went through all of them. We had topics about talk about stuff.
Childhood.
So did it go well? Or, I mean, he answered the questions. Was it where did the game work?
He had some issues. He was trying to do some. He was trying to start a business and stuff. He was like living at a hotel and stuff. So I think he just thinks about it to himself, and he realized that.
It sounds to me like the game worked. I mean, because it didn't. It did. They're not together, and that is why it worked.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It discovered.
You figured out
potential problem, and you
there
guys
were
were like,
problems, there were issues, and that is the best thing to know about a person early on.
That's the shitty thing about a litmus test is it tells you the truth.
Yeah. Well, and
you're like,
and you know, when I met Bill early on, you know, I just knew. I knew he was the one.
He knew. He knew.
Oh my
Sparks
goodness.
flew.
We're like, oh, you play role-playing games? Let's do a podcast.
God.
That's hilarious.
Well, he was already doing one, and I just elbowed into it.
That's right. Okay, so a couple things, boring stuff, but I think it's important. How do you source this? Meaning, it looks like from the picture that there's a box with a graphic, and there's cards, and they have to be cut a certain size. And for anyone who has not made a game or has done a DIY project, if you try to mass produce that shit, all that, those are measurements, those are specifications, those are certain kinds of files. You got to find people to send it to, find people to create it, to mail it to you. There's a whole headache of, wait, how do I actually do this without breaking out my X-Acto knife? So I would like to know your process, maybe. Yeah. Tell me all about that.
So you do got to be someone that knows how to find stuff. You know, you can't just be like, you already got to be curious at best, you know, because business is not just about selling and making procedures. Can you figure out how to line up the people you need? So what I did was,
but I heard what I did was, and then you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, gotcha.
So that creates games. So I looked up someone that creates like this.
Now you're gone. What I heard was this. I'm going to sum it up. You basically found somebody who's done it and got them on board.
Yes, I found someone that is a designer, graphic designer.
Yep.
Yeah, I found someone's graphic designer, and she, I basically gave her the questions that I created in her book, and I told her what I wanted. I said,
now you're cut out. Killed by tech. Yes. Yeah.
I'm seeing if it goes. Can you hear me here?
Yeah, I got you.
Because I got full signal on this Wi-Fi. Like,
that's weird.
Where's my house Wi-Fi? So basically, I found a graphic designer, and she created. She helped me create the design. So I gave her the questions and the theme. I said I want it to be red, black, white. And she kind of gave me different ideas. I said,
so basically, she was able to like actually advise you in a way that made real sense.
Yeah, I like the art on this. If that's what you're talking about, I think the art on it is, you know, pretty fun. It looks like it's got some religious and devil and a little role playing influence. You know, the arrows, the plus, and the circle, and the font. It's catching. Like, I think if it was on a shelf with other card games, that it would stand out. Because red it's like the idea of using the color makes you hungry. It's primal.
Yeah. Yeah. And she and so basically after I said, okay, this is what I want to do. So with Fiverr, you all know you have to like really dive in stuff and get it being 80%. So we came, and then she gave me the 20% when we looked at graphics and I didn't have that skill. And was able to create design. Then from there, after I approved the design, I had it to get it manufactured. You know, there's some who overseas. The ones in America was just way too much money. I wouldn't have made a return on my investment. If anybody knows P&L profit and loss, you gotta learn that too, because if you don't know that, then you get for it. So it's go overseas and get into print it. So once the graphic designer put my questions on and did it the way I needed to give me a PDF file and with the right measurements for poker style carding, because I want poker style size, the poker styles.
Yeah, and I think the style works well because you're in Las Vegas and maybe the cards and like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of
Yeah,
shooting.
that's true. Yeah,
All right,
and so then, that's how it worked. That's how it worked. And then they sent it to me in the mail. And
So you actually did get it manufactured overseas?
yes, because it was just way too much to do here. The problem
If you don't mind me asking, did you go to China or where?
oh, China.
Yeah. I mean, their manufacturing is just too good and their prices are too good. And I mean, you know, there was a flight. Well, Ken, was it in the 80s when everybody decided to?
Yeah. Well, it was definitely early 80s, late 70s places started, outsourcing to other countries, specifically China and Taiwan and Thailand. I mean, it's like how do you manufacture stuff here? I've had a lot of friends that have created things and you can't even do it here. The infrastructure doesn't exist. So if you were going to do it, you would have to build it yourself.
Yes,
you'd have to go and you would have to buy some printers. You'd have to, still the paper could come from China. Still like elements of the industry that you.
Well, that's what happens when everything is reduced down to a monetary value, right? I mean, even time. I know people talk about business. I'm going to quasi go political here. People talk about business and how, when it comes down to it, if you're doing a business that is not making money, it's not a good business.
Yeah.
Because you're either doing something wrong or you're not doing something or you are doing something, whatever. Something is off or the market doesn't want it. And so that business should rightly die. Hence why subsidies are a bad idea, and tariffs as well. But there's this idea of, on the one hand, if we're a globalized world, then there's no problem whatsoever with outsourcing to the places that have the infrastructure for it. There's the obvious problems with that, meaning that we're all not one world, right? Even though we're not, right? Because we still compete.
Sure.
This idea of monetizing everything, if something is not worth a value, a dollar sign, then it's not worth your time. And even your time is worth money, right? Like the adage, time is money. But as I've gotten older, I've realized a sickness that has infiltrated my brain where everything I do, I mean everything, I begin to think in the background, what is this worth? How can this make me money? Oh, you're doing a podcast? Does it make you money? Oh, then you're just doing it.
Yeah, and we've had back and forth conversations about this podcast, and like, is it worth it? Is it, are we doing the community a service? And to me, this podcast it's not about money as much as it is about networking, which could lead to money, but it's not important. I wanted to go back just a little bit. The reason why China has infrastructure the way it does is that the government invests quite a bit into the infrastructure of the country, whereas the United States, it really, there are programs, sure, and incentives to do it here, but it's not tied in with the government. The government actually has a complete say of what that factory can do, whereas the United States government does not.
That's the price of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is if you ask, I mean, anyone who's worked retail, or worked with the public, food service, the industry, as you will, knows when you walk in and you're just a gremlin, you're just a person who goes and does your job. The last thing that you want is for whoever's quotes in charge to be like, oh, let's have a vote. You don't want to vote. You don't want to vote. You want someone to say, do this. And you want them to be smart.
That's true.
Like, you got to have a leader. You know, you cannot have too many chefs in the kitchen to get a job done, a practical job. There's got to be someone who has the final say. At the same time, that means if you don't like it, it's their highway. It's their way or the highway.
Sure. I've experienced
totalitarian.
Yeah.
That's why everybody wants to be the boss, you know?
Yeah, they do. Oh my God.
Who's the boss?
That's so
Bill of Geeky Gamer Podcast. Do we have a boss?
No, we have a partnership, which is why it's hard.
Partnerships are good.
Partnerships are good. The thing with partnerships, just like with, it's a relationship, like this game is talking about. You can answer all these questions, but that doesn't mean people stick to it. That's the human condition, right? Dealing with change in everybody's lives that go on.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, you know, things will change, but it's like in the beginning, it used to be an idea and the person uses it time, and they can make a decision for that moment, because forever is not promised. You know, you don't know. It is a good way to at least answer some questions that you need to be having, so instead of nothing at all.
That's right. There's no such thing as forever anyway. It's just a concept.
Yeah, very few people can believe it. Very few.
I like the idea of like every 6 months or every year you bust out this game and you're like, all right, let's do it again. Figure out
that's true.
where are we? Okay.
Yeah, so you got some great ideas here. I didn't think about that. That's a very good point.
Ken, you got any thoughts, questions, burning desires?
Sure. My thought is it seems like a great game. There's definitely a lot of thought and work put into it, and it's like it's a super rules light role playing game with real world consequences.
Definitely true. I like that. Look, you guys are giving me quotes here. You know,
we aim to please. Yeah, we aim to please.
Like, I'm using like AI and stuff, always thinking of stuff to kind of bring out what I'm trying to see.
Yeah, AI is a good tool for sure. And I listened to a few of your podcasts, and I enjoyed.
You listened?
I enjoyed the stuff about AI. I think you really do have a nice spectrum of things, but I enjoyed that you're a writer. You've got a book called Dark Obsessions, and then you've got these 2 coloring books, these adult coloring books, and then the romance of the dating assassins card game, and then for later, like, you've got a way to really get the extra, get them if they have kids. A kid's book called Sammie Bean. So you
Sammie Bean.
Go full circle with what you're doing, and the music is wonderful. I really enjoyed what you're doing with that, and I'm gonna do a deep dive on your YouTube channel and subscribe to that.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be doing more music. That's my So I'm working on. I got the studio now, a little studio. So
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I got some more stuff I'm working on, and just more envelopes to push.
Yeah, and if you have any instrumentals as well, or like acapellas that are really kind of ethereal and spacey, that stuff really sings with what we do as kind of background music. Or we could take one of your songs and throw it in the intro, the outro, and or even specific moments where, like, if there's a concert, like what Bill was saying with this one artist, and we play that in the background. And I think anything to do to make our experience more immersive adds a lot of content and quality.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do have a lot of acapellas, and I'm learning how to make beats right now, like make them the way I want. So it's
What do you use?
a lot of acapellas because I don't have a beat.
What do
So I
you
don't make beats.
what do you use for your production?
Right now, I'm using GarageBand, and
Nice.
I'm trying to switch over to Logic,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
I try to switch over to Logic. But
I actually find Logic to be easier. Is they put so many limitations on GarageBand that you start getting into like working with things. But I also know that limitations are kind of good in music production, and the sound that you're producing in GarageBand is really amazing. If you said you had a producer as well, but
yeah, the only one I did at home for like this song, I did by myself.
One more time, I didn't catch the only one I did, and then it went.
Yeah, it was Player Hater. That was the only one I did without any help, really. I had someone mix it a little bit, but
Yeah,
I mixed it myself, and then he kind of just added on his touches. But yeah, I was in my own studio doing that one, and that was really, really like inspiring to me. Like, it let me know I could do it.
I'm looking to see if there are what musical hits came out of GarageBand.
Well, Grimes, I'm pretty sure she threw down GarageBand on one of her albums. I think her first. And didn't marry Elon Musk for a while. Like, she got pretty famous.
Huh.
Music
Grimes-
artists and
Grimes-
GarageBand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grimes showed up for
She's
that.
a big one.
Yeah. I think that's where I was going to with that. Izzy Strain. These are all people. I like the name of the band called The Internet. I think they really kind of.
Oh yeah, I like them. I know about them.
They kind of nailed band names. I feel like some of these are not correct because I'm pretty sure Radiohead did not use GarageBand. This is when we get into like Google search results, AI. The accuracy is not there. Nine Inch Nails doesn't use GarageBand.
I don't know.
It
It wouldn't surprise me if later on, obviously they started way before all of this, but
yeah, it was all hard.
I know. Is it Amnesiac? Is that what I'm thinking of? That Radiohead it didn't even release like it was released free on the internet. Like, there you go, just take it. So it wouldn't surprise me if one, especially Nine Inch Nails or Radiohead, was like, we made this for free.
Yeah.
Like to studios.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it did,
I know
but
Nine
it would
Inch
not
Nails.
surprise me.
Nine Inch Nails released all of their samples. Like you could download their samples and remix any of their songs.
Whoa.
Or maybe it was
cool.
Maybe it was a couple of specific albums, but you can go in and pull their stuff. I don't know. It's wild if you start looking into distribution with music. If you use samples that are or vocals or anything that's in the public domain that you didn't create originally, that the one I use for distribution, they won't do it. They won't let you distribute public domain samples because, or I think they'll let you. I don't know if I don't know, but I think if you have any of that stuff, they can't monetize it.
Huh.
Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it has to be completely free of Nine Inch Nails public domain samples. I think if you augment, I mean, these software programs, you can augment so much that it doesn't, the algorithm won't catch it. It won't catch it.
The synthesizers now, and like all those things that one of my podcast was talking about. We got all these old school boxes, and I mean the old school server. It doesn't have servers, but they're like beat machines, and like you can do cool stuff with it. I'm actually gonna buy one. See what I can do.
Yeah, I like hard.
I got different names, but yeah.
I like the hardware synthesizers. Bill,
the hardware.
As a musician, he's a good musician. He's been the front man of a band that they recorded some music. I like the music.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that and see how I can make some beats with that. So that's gonna be my next test.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Siquoyia, it's been a very good conversation, I think.
Yes, I had so much fun.
And you're the first person, game creator, that has actually run their game for us.
Yeah, that's big.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, no, we're not going to do it. It's like, what the hell?
Oh my God, mine's just trademarked.
That's right. That's right. Well, they're just weird about, I guess, exposing themselves. I don't know, but we hope that more people do it.
I would think that'd be great promotion for them, you know, and then getting other people's opinions.
Exactly. Ken, do you have any other questions?
I'm good.
Siquoyia, we'd like to leave.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you. I enjoyed. I like your content. I hope you keep in touch. I would like to keep in touch, and please send me any music that you come up with, or if you have any ideas or want to talk the world, please feel free to stop back by on our podcast or just reach out.
Yeah, you are welcome. Definitely. You're on the Discord server, so you're welcome to jump in a game if you want. We do one shots on Mondays, and we also do campaigns. But pretty soon we're going to be doing some one shots for Dreadlore. You know, if you're new, it's perfectly fine. So if you're interested, we like to vet people obviously before we come in.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So
thank you. Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. So how we do this, how we finish, we like to give you the last word. So this can be an aphorism, a saying, a joke, a motto, something you want to leave us with, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm going to say the slogan of my car name: assassinate your truth.
Right on.
Love it. Love it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for being with us. And Ken, you want to lead us out?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
This has been the Geeky Gamer podcast. And
Geeky Gamer podcast.
I used to be able to operate my computer, but for some reason it's like
not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's gone forever.
Hosted by Bill and myself, Ken. All lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt bring us the score. All Couchfire Media brings production, and Toy Replay Productions tells it like it is. Please join us on our Patreon. We have a Patreon. It's Geeky Gamer Podcast.
Patreon.com/ Geeky Gamer Podcast.
And our guest today is awesome. Is Siquoyia Blue. I look forward to hearing and seeing much more from her in the future. Thanks for being here.
Yes, Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye, everybody.